Hiya. I picked up the other day, it's kind of a thrifting video. I picked up the other day this XR10, Ricoh XR-10. I've kind of fallen in love with Ricohs. So this Ricoh XR-10. When I got it, it had this other lens on it that the aperture doesn't seem to want to move on. So at the moment, I've just got this Signet that I picked up elsewhere, kind of brought over with it, and it also came with this auto winder. Now the auto winder has seen better days, but I think I still actually have the little battery terminal here. I can probably glue it on, then throw some epoxy over the top of it, take this off, of course, the battery cover off, of course, solder up this black wire again, and it should probably work. I don't see why not, as long as I glue it all back together. But I've got another one on a KR-30 that should work just fine anyway, if I can't end up resurrecting this. But this is the PG4, Ricoh PG4 Power Grip. It's, like I said, I got another one on my KR-30 that's really pretty cool. But anyway, so this was broke, the lens that was on it was broke, but the base camera seems to work just fine. Now that I have it on way too long of exposure. Cool. And then yeah. Can't remember what that is at the moment. Now, what I'm kind of also doing with this is I'm also comparing it to, because I read somewhere that the KR-10 is just, or not, sorry, the KR-10, because it is a KR-10X, is the same thing from what I've read. Don't have a KR-10X, but the XR-10 is supposed to be like a really close sister to the XR-7. Now, if you kind of look at them, you can see this has a little better grip on it. It still has this button that I should have researched beforehand to figure out. But the XR-7 has the self-timer. Also on the XR-7, you can look at the top and see this little green button here. The little green button is to unlock this. When you go into auto, the green button pops up, and you can't move the shutter speed. But if you push it down, then you can. This one does not have that. It does not have the button. It does not have aperture compensation, I think this is, because they both have the timer, the self-timer there, the self-timer there. And they will both take the same film, everywhere from 12 to 3200. They both take 12 to 3200. They almost look identical. Let me relock this. The KR-10 will go from 1,000 down to 16 seconds and bulb, and then lock. The KR-7 goes from 1,000 to 16 seconds to bulb. Also, this one has the metered exposure, where this one does not. This one is the XR-7, by the way. This is the XR-10. It does not have the metered exposure button on the back. Also, well, they're both the same rewinder. Also, this one has the XR-10 has the pins that match up to the winder. The two has places for it, where the XR-7 only has the one pin next to the tripod mount, and the 10 actually has a silver rewind trigger, where the XR7 is black. Whether it means anything or not, I don't know. Both the drives and the winder on my KR-30 does fit this. I've run it through a couple of times, and I've cycled this, but I've got film in it. I'm on picture 4 on the XR7, and I think it's black and white, probably. I shoot mostly black and white. This one came with the Rokinon film for the Ricoh, or film lens. These Ricoh lenses, the 50 millimeter, if it's a 50 millimeter f2, they're an excellent lens, just really excellent. They're relatively cheap, come with everything. They're an awesome little 50 millimeter lens, and they fit your Ricohs, they fit the Sears, they fit the Pentaxes. Awesome little lens. If you run across one, probably get it for dirt cheap, grab it. Because this lens will also fit, of course, this. The Ricoh cameras have the PK mount, the PK lens mount, so it'll take anything Pentax, Ricoh, or I believe all the Sears mount lenses as well. So yeah, I picked this up for 10 bucks, threw some batteries in it, and she works just fine. Of course, I had to clean her up really well, but all the seals and everything, all the seals look pretty good in it. Let's get that open. All the seals look pretty good. The interior is pretty clean. So yeah, can't wait to run a roll of film through this. It's got the multi-leaf metal shutter instead of the fabric one. From what I understand, because of these two buttons here, or these two pins here, you can get a data back for it. I don't have a data back for it. Don't know if I want one. If I'm out shooting some film or pictures that I want to look nice, I don't know if I want a date on it. It's kind of marring up the works. But anyway, this thing also has, you can see right there, has this little window, so you can actually look down, because this will be up at the top. You can actually look down and see what aperture you're on, or if you're on the A or any one of the apertures. This is a Ricoh lens I picked up probably on this Sears camera that I bought. Should be a nice little lens. Got really good reviews. It's this one is a 35 to 70 millimeter f2.8 to 4. It should be a good little lens. I paid little enough for it. But anyway, what was there on this that I wanted to look to see if it was? Oh yeah, let's take the lens off of this bad boy. Yep, it's got that little window too. See right there? So when you look in through the viewfinder, at the bottom you can actually see, you can kind of see that window. You can see what your aperture of your lens is. So you can go from there. Ooh, I need to clean this. Probably reseal it. But anyway, so yeah, XR-10, KR-10x, same camera from what I understand. And it should be a great little shooter. Great reviews for 10 bucks. I can't go wrong. If I ever get this fixed, I'll let you know. If I ever get that lens fixed, I'll let you know too. Yes. Anyway, that's for you. That's for you. And we'll talk to you next time. Maybe even I'll throw in some of this expired 100 T Max that I just did a video on. Anyway,